everybody. Mathew Owens here, California licensed CPA, full-time real estate investor. We flipped a little bit over 1,000 houses, have a buy and hold portfolio, invest in multifamilies and syndication investments. And I'm here to ask you, are you teaching your kids the right financial education, the right things to be able to help them thrive in the up and coming world? And the changes that are happening right now are so rapid. It's extremely important that you help them break that traditional mold and educate them on the things that they need to know that they're not getting in traditional education. They're teaching them how to conform, how to play by the rules. They're not teaching them about money. They're not teaching them about self-sustainment. They're not teaching them how to have emotional control and have happiness in their life. As you guys know, and many of you know, I have a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old. So my interest is extremely high in ways that I can bring my kids out of their shell and set little tiny tidbits of information to them over and over again and ingrain that in their mindset so that they are thinking differently than even I thought growing up as a CPA, where I would do taxes and audit. I went and got the traditional education from school. And I look back now and maybe my professional writing class, maybe some of my accounting classes were of real value, but in reality, 99% of high school, college was really not valuable when it comes to making money, being an entrepreneur, learning the strategies to become financially free. And it's almost like it's on purpose. It's kind of crazy where it's like they want people to not break this mold. They want people to become workers. If you understand the history behind the traditional education system, it's all geared towards creating workers, not creating entrepreneurs, not creating financial freedom in people's life, and actually helping people continue the constant trading time for money. So understanding some of these things are key. I've made a quick list for you on some of the things I plan on teaching my kids, and maybe it's a little over the level right now on some of them. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, and maybe some of these things are better for high school and that type of stuff, of course. But I think it's extremely important to teach your kids the topics that I'm about to rattle off for you guys right now. So the first thing is taxes. Understanding how to mitigate taxes increases your net worth massively, because you're being able to take that money and reinvest it into new cash flow streams, new wealth building strategies, instead of having Uncle Sam take their chunk. So understanding taxes, how to file a tax return, all the different ways of getting tax deductions so you can keep your money is key for your kids' education, okay? Understanding entrepreneurship. Many people think, hey, get a job, get a good education, get a job, work, 40 years at the job or 20 years at the job until you retire. And that's the method. That's the way, we've been brought up. That's the way we've been taught. There's a whole nother world out there where you have complete control of your own financial destiny by being able to create something out of nothing, being able to be an entrepreneur, finding a need that the market has and filling it. And then learning through trials and tribulations and punches in the face and getting knocked down and standing back up over and over again, and going through those pains makes you learn so much more, but also enables you to be completely strong and dependent on yourself and being able to actually make money for yourself so that you can actually create these types of financial freedom strategies in your life. So entrepreneurship, teaching them another way to make money. I don't care if you're showing them how to sell stuff on eBay to make extra money. Find new ways. They might sell your stuff at the end of the day, but definitely find ways of showing them ways they can make money and having them slowly enact those plans, okay? The third thing, facing your fears. This is a giant one, realizing that 90% of the reason you haven't gotten to where you are right now is because of your own internal fears. and that there is no real limitations. It's all a mental construct in your head about what you can and cannot doing. Every once in a while, I'll look at some of my buddies that are killing it on a whole nother level in real estate. I flip consistently, I lend capital, and I do a lot, but there's people out there that are doing 10 times more than I am, and it's inspiring to me to be able to see what they're doing and say, wow, my only limits are my own mindset. Why am I not focusing on that? Let's go try that. Let's push myself outside of my comfort zone and face those fears so that I can do that. Teaching your kids these things, same things. Anytime they're scared of something, almost like making them do it, making them push through that fear is going to be key for their own success, because they're not going to get anywhere if they're just afraid to move forward. So that's one of the biggest things stopping people from taking action, is that fear. Okay. Personal growth and taking action, instilling in your kids the desire to always want to get better, always want to learn and enjoy learning, becoming a better person. That's hard to do when they're not self-aware yet, when they're not understanding some of the key concepts of where true happiness comes from, and self-fulfillment by being able to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish in life. And actually it comes down to taking action and consistently growing, consistently taking baby steps to get there. So instilling those behaviors in your kids and focusing on those things is key. Obviously, marketing and sales, very, very key to understand as an entrepreneur. Understanding real estate and investing in general, very important to understand what's out there, what income streams, how people make money in different ways. Let's see, financial education and how the law works. So financial education is key. My dad was a CPA. He had us balancing checkbooks when we were in junior high, which was probably one of the best things for me, even though my mom was the one that really saved the money. My dad actually made me sit down and do some of this hard work that I hated doing at the time, that I'm so thankful for now. It's absolutely crazy how much of a benefit instilling those types of activities in our life was, looking back at it now. So let's see. The economy and government, understanding that the economy and government are intertwined at every level. And not only do you have to watch out for changes in the economy, but you have to watch out for changes in what the government does in order to protect yourself, to stick and move and maneuver when there's a major change that occurs there. Okay. That spiritual self-awareness and emotional control is key. If you can't control your emotions, you can't control your actions, and therefore you lose the outcome you're looking for. So you have to be able to take that step back, say, what's the smartest move for me right now to make money any way I possibly can, or get through this adversity that's coming up, because the adversity is going to be there. It's how do they control themselves? Are they reactive or are they proactive, where they're actually going through and saying, no, I'm going to react like this. This is the plan, versus getting upset or letting it bother you, which is a very hard thing to do. You have to be able to look at yourself first and say, I have the control over myself, and your kids need to be able to understand that as well. So let's see, computers and software development, obviously crazy important. And a lot of people forget farming, self-sustainability. This is becoming more and more of a hot topic as we go on, where people are very concerned about food shortages and things like that. Learning how to live off of the land, learn how to be self-sustainable is very, very key to survival in the future, in my opinion, especially when you have food prices skyrocketing and things like that. Very, very key. Learning health and what foods to eat and what exercise they should be having, going through those types of things too with them. So because you can't really be at the top of your level, at the top of your game, without being where you should be health-wise. And everybody knows what you're not doing right now from a health perspective. Everybody has those quirks. Everybody has those setbacks where they limit themselves mentally because of health or other things that are coming up, where they're just not comfortable moving forward with. And so breaking through those things that you're not doing is absolutely key. And having good health and exercise routine is key to being able to get through those breakthroughs and get through those challenges. Okay. understanding new technologies, breaking societal norms, and thinking for yourself. Don't be the brainwashed sheep, okay? Constantly think, is that the right move for me? Am I being emotional? Right now, there's tons of news out there all over the place about real estate, about investing, about the next crash that's occurring, about every governmental problem there is. It's all over the place. Being able to weed through that stuff and saying, hey, look, I'm going to actually make the decision that I think is best for me financially instead of worrying about all the clutter out there. And I'm going to focus on what I'm doing, and thinking for yourself is absolutely key to be able to determine what is a real risk versus what is a fabricated risk, or maybe not as much of a risk, because there's 90% of the risks out there you can't really do a whole lot about. You have no real control over. You can try to mitigate a few things, of course, but realizing that, hey, stop worrying about the things you can't control in life, okay? So like I mentioned, professional writing, very, very important to understand how to communicate correctly. Very important to teach that to your kids, of course, as well. Understanding relationships and how to communicate is key, especially with the opposite sex, especially when you're in a relationship, a business relationship too. So understanding how to communicate correctly for the people you're dealing with, how to keep a cool monotone, how to not excite people when you know they might be on edge or have an issue. Being able to take things in the right way where you're not going to be emotional and you're going to be able to communicate is absolutely key. And goal setting, true happiness, and the law of attraction is absolutely true. Instill these types of things in your kids from the start, and they will be happier, more productive long term, and they'll have the right infrastructure and the foundation to be successful long term. So absolutely extremely important. I also highly, highly recommend understanding business systems and structures for those at the right education level. And if anybody wants a great overview of the challenges that people are going through and the economy is going to be going through, I highly recommend peakprosperity.com and taking their crash course. It's a 21 class crash course on every aspect of what's happening in the economy right now. They're broken out into little 10-minute videos, but it goes over our natural resources issues. It goes over our political issues. It goes over all kinds of different stuff that is crucial and should be a requirement for every high school kid and every adult in the room. So I hope this helped you guys. These are just some of the topics that I try to instill in my kids, that I try to teach them about slowly over a long, drawn out period of time, just putting little tidbits of information out there until they start to think a little bit differently. So I hope this helps you guys creating financial freedom in your life and helping your kids create that financial freedom too. I'll talk to you guys soon, and happy hunting on those real estate deals.